Today we are at Pierce Brothers Westwood Village Memorial Park and Mortuary, and this is hidden right in the city of Los Angeles. Here's the gates here that you drive through. There's PB for Pierce Brothers. And that's where you go in. Okay, right now we're looking at a very well-known and hilarious person, Don Knotts, 1924 to 2006. He saw the poignancy in people's pride and pain and turned it into something hilarious and enduring. And this is a pretty interesting and cool grave marker because it has Don Knotts in several of the different things that he was in. And I'm going to say he probably is best known for Barney Fife, the deputy on Andy Griffith's show, and that's the biggest picture there in the middle.
Well, that's it.
Sheriff, I have something to say.
Now, men, I have just one thing to say. This isn't going to be kid stuff.
Barney.
Sheriff, if you don't mind.
Now, there won't be room for any mistakes out there. One mistake is one too many.
And he also, I believe the one up in the top corner would be Mr. Limpet. I'm not positive, but that might be that. He also was in the Ghost and Mr. Chicken, so it could be that. I'm not sure of the one at the very top. The one that it's kind of partially, they just show part of his name, but it says Fleming. He's in an astronaut suit. That is The Reluctant Astronaut. I really like that movie. And then there's one down the far right and the one in the left. I'm not sure which one, what those ones are, but I know he was in the Apple Dumpling Gang. He was a very funny guy. Another big role that he did is he replaced the Ropers on Three's Company, and he was Mr. Furley.
I love the kids. They're wonderful kids. No wild parties, no weird goings on.
Well, I should hope not.
And they're hardly ever at home.
What was that?
The plumber fixing the pipes. Let me show you the bedroom. Plumber's helper. Christopher. Larry.
Jack.
Maxine.
But, he did a good job there. So, hilarious guy. All right, the next one is Rodney Dangerfield. There Goes the Neighborhood. It's interesting because they don't have the dates of his birthday or his day of death. But anyways, if you don't know who he is, he was a comedian back 70s or so, and he could be a funny guy. Rodney Dangerfield's line was, "I get no respect," so hopefully he gets some respect now. This is Minnie Riperton Rudolph, and you might be familiar with this song if you're older like me. Loving You is Easy 'Cause You're Beautiful. Chicago, November 8th, 1947, and died in Los Angeles, July 12th, 1979. Hers was a gift of love, a miracle of life for all the world to see and hear forever. Here we have Farrah Fawcett and Ryan O'Neal. Farrah Fawcett, 1947 to 2009. And Ryan O'Neal, 1941 to 2023. Farrah Fawcett, known for Charlie's Angels and her big hair, and sold a lot of posters. I had one of them. A lot of young kids liked her. And Ryan O'Neal, the main thing I'm going to say he's in probably many things, but the thing I remember him in is Paper Moon with his daughter Tatum O'Neal. Farrah Fawcett originally was married to Lee Majors, the $6 Million Man. However, they got a divorce, and then she never married Ryan O'Neal, but this was the guy that she hung out with. I wanted to show you around here. If you look, we're surrounded by, pretty much anyways, there's not so much on that side, but by tall buildings, because this is right in the city, and this cemetery is hidden. So unless you know about it, you probably won't know about it. And like I said, there is a lot of famous people buried here. And we're going to do our best to find a lot of them anyways. But I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Helps me out a lot and helps people find my channel. I appreciate that. So this one is Carl Malden and Mona, March 22nd, 1912 to July 1st, 2009. For Carl, loving husband, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and his wife Mona, May 9th, 1917 to July 13th, 2019. Loving mother, loving wife, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother. Carl Malden was on the streets of San Francisco, would be what I would know him from. Again, we're probably back in the 70s, so if you're around then, you might know who he is. Okay, this one is Walter Matthau, October 1st, 1920 to July 1st, 2000. And Carol Matthau, September 11th, 1924 to July 21st, 2023. Okay, this one is Natalie Wood. It says Natalie Wood Wagner, beloved daughter, sister, wife, mother, and friend, 1938 to 1981. More Than Love. And she supposedly drowned off of a boat that her and her husband had. Her husband was Robert Wagner. However, there is some controversy over whether or not she actually drowned or there was something else going on. So kind of like Marilyn Monroe, it's going to be another case of we'll probably never know what actually happened to her, but I think the cause of death that they had said was drowning. So anyways, that's what I know about her. Unfortunately, Dorothy Stratton was murdered by her husband, and then he killed himself after the fact. Dorothy Stratton was a model from Canada, but if you look at her cemetery stone here, it's about the saddest stone that I've ever read, because it all talks about death and murder, and I just think that it doesn't do justice to anyone just talking about the way that they died and this world. It's really not a good memory of who she was. I will tell you there are two unmarked graves at this cemetery. One is Roy Orbison, and the other one is Frank Zappa. Now, my understanding is people that have found these unmarked graves or think they have, well, then later on somebody is buried there, so their information is wrong. So I can't tell you where they're at. My understanding also is that if you go and ask them in the office, they won't tell you where they're at. So anyways, but I did want to let you know that they are supposedly at this cemetery as well in unmarked graves. In this pillar here, the very bottom one, is Florence Henderson, February 14th, 1934 to November 24th, 2016. Beloved mother of four, cherished mom to millions. Forever in the hearts of her family, friends, and fans. And she's best known, at least to the public, as Mrs. Brady.
The way they all became the Brady Bunch, the Brady Bunch.
Interesting thing is that She was on the Brady Bunch as the mom, and that was a Sherwood Shorts production. And then Jim Backus is also here from Gilligan's Island, also a Sherwood Shorts production. So there you have it, Mrs. Brady, Florence Henderson. Here is Jim Backus. Everybody should pretty much know who this is, Thurston Howell III. Jim Backus, Darling Husband, February 25th, 1913 to July 3rd, 1989. And his wife, Henny Backus, cherished wife, March 21st, 1911 to December 9th, 2004. One other thing about Jim Backus that I forgot to tell you is that he was the voice for Mr. Magoo, the cartoon, as well. He did Mr. Magoo. He was Thurston Howell III on Gilligan's Island. He also played a part in Pete's Dragon as well. And I'm sure he's done numerous things. Those are the three things that I would know him from. So that's why I'm sharing that with you.
Road hog!
I am right here at probably the most famous gravesite that there is, and that is Marilyn Monroe right here. Right there. And I'm standing in front of it here. This is a very busy one as far as people coming here. So I can get away and I'll look at some of the other graves and then wait for my time to come over here. We'll be back at this cemetery to look at more graves. We'll spend more time at Marilyn Monroe's grave next time. And that will be up and coming, maybe not the next video or two, but it will be coming up. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you next time, guys. Bye.